So they should be synced. I did retime Behemoth's run. Yeah, he started his timer a little early. It's like 0.04 early. But I checked the starting frames and the ending frames for both of them.
Some bitch.
I'll tell you what I found afterwards. Yeah.
Mirrored map, eh? That'd be the next.
I love like watching beginnings of these runs because like the sync is real for a while for most of Series Station.
You're a genius, kid.
So anybody who's not aware, these are both 41:33s, and this is a tied world record right now.
Inverted Super Metroid so much.
As of yesterday, 14th of January.
Or was it like sideways?
2018.
Rotation. It's cool, but it's not like
Different instances of VLC. Well, I'm not going to go too crazy with this. I think this is good enough for me, for my purposes right now. Yeah, I'm obviously going to try to get a better time, but the fact that these runs are so close, like you'll see how close they are at the end. They're like extremely close. Like not even just to the second, it's way closer than just the same second.
of course you have missiles to kill it.
It'll be interesting to see like where these
Not always, but usually you do.
where the runs converge here. There may be like multiple instances of them converging.
Charge missiles with
Because I know Behemoth will have a faster
much less often.
early game past Fantoon. I think I'll beat him to Fantoon, and then he'll be ahead of me after that. It'll be interesting. So it's not, since it's not shown on screen, I'll just say Behemoth is on the right side, and I'm on the left side. Which his Twitch is Behemoth87. I'm assuming his YouTube is the same, but I'm not sure. He gained a little bit of time on that Moonfall there. The weave strat.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter for me what side I'm on.
The rain directions? I don't know. That'd be cool if it was different sometimes.
I should have named Craig Bishop.
So I think we both do this strat. Let's see. Yeah, we both.
Dragon Vasquez.
I picked that up recently. Jack, Weeb879, Jack879. He showed me that one, shooting the block below Morph Ball early. I think it saves like 10 or 20 frames. It's pretty significant, more so than I would have thought. It's kind of cool, like all the different things we do. Like he has to drop through that construction zone with the shootable blocks a different way because he doesn't have angle down, and then we do different climbs, obviously. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool how many different ways there are to skin a cat, so to speak, in this game. Especially for like an old, like this old of a game, a 2D speedrun. Why doesn't he have angle down? That's something you can ask him. He's got like either deselect, item deselect, or item switch on L. And you can't move, like if you don't have angle up and angle down on L and R, the game will let you assign different buttons to L and R, but it will not let you reassign angle up or angle down to like a face button or anything like that. So if you use L or R for something else besides angle up and angle down, you lose angle, you know, whatever you assign it to, angle up or angle down. Yeah. The funny thing is, when I first picked up this game, I thought about putting like run on L or R. Probably R. I was thinking about putting run on R, I believe. But once I saw that you like lost the ability to angle like one of your angles, I decided not to do that. Like I didn't consult anything when I came up with my control scheme. And I encourage most people to ooh, he got screwed on drops there. I encourage people to find what works best for them and not be influenced too much by like the hot runner of the time's control scheme.
My favorite part's getting on the ship.
Do you run on L? Hello, hello everybody. Many ways to scan a cat. So yeah, that bomb Chorizo drop's pretty unfortunate for him. Slow him down a little bit. It's annoying when bomb Chorizo has that weird spread of items where you're running to shoot the door like optimally, so you get out of the room as fast as possible. All the items are in the top right. All the missiles are spread off to the top right of the room. But yeah, back to control schemes. I'm happy with the one I have. It's any control scheme is gonna have its limitations for sure. I'd say like
What?
I have to switch my grips a lot between claw grip and fat fingering. You know, just using your thumb. I have to claw a lot to hit X for item switching, but I think it's worth it. I wouldn't want to have. I wouldn't want to lose the ability to use angle up or angle down personally. So what else do we do differently? I think we do Red Tower differently. We'll find that out for sure coming up. I found a cool little strat here. If you get like a longer run speed here and do a short, like a less high of a jump, you save a few frames. It almost looked like he did that too. Maybe he already knew that.
What we're all trying to do.
Both doing the angle up shot there. Angle down on L feels weird. I'm sure you get used to it. There are some things in this game that are a little counterintuitive at first that you just get used to, like down backing, which is the technique of aiming down but moving forward. You have to hold like down and away from the way you want to move. So it's a little counterintuitive at first, but you get used to it. So let's see what the Red Tower difference is here. So I do the 2-cat climb. Yeah, he waits for the zoomer to go back to the right before shooting, so that saves a little time there. Oh, he doesn't do the boost off the flower either. So one of the strats I've picked up sort of recently is the strat coming back up towards the elevator. So I'm gonna skip, like I'm only gonna farm one of the cack attacks.
Depends how much you want to sacrifice.
And I'm just gonna try to zoom past the first one if it lets me, which it does this time, which is nice. So you don't have to have 5 supers here. If you have 5 supers, it's nice because you'll have one for sure after Fantoon. It gives you a better chance of having full supers after Fantoon, but I think it saves 1 second there. I'm not sure, it may save even more compared to the strat he was doing, but I think it saves a second compared to the old strat I was using to completely skip that first cack attack drop. So I think it's worth it. I don't. There's no telling what Fantoon will drop, you know. Like, I'd rather take the 1 second for sure. So you see, I luckily got CWJ there. The continuous wall jump across the moat. He had to do the backup of diagonal bomb jumping. So it's like a 3-second difference, I believe. So that helps a lot. It's hard to get. CWJ, as far as I know, is a frame perfect jump followed by a 2-frame jump. But if you don't get like the frame perfect first jump, you can do that diagonal bomb jump as a backup, so you can still continue the run. Because a lot of times in the beginning of the game here, you want to get to Fantoon. If you don't lose too much time, you just want to get to Fantoon and see what pattern you get. Because if you get a fast and your run's not
Could almost continue
amazing,
the
it's
round
still you're still in
This
business
time.
basically. Does he normally? I thought he started picking up CWJ near the end there. I didn't really see what he did in this run. I'm pretty sure he started trying to go for CWJ. Maybe I'm mistaken on that though. So he gets a fast. I get a.
Whoever called fast, keep doing it.
What did I get?
That'll do.
Did I get a fast slow? I think.
Still got a 4.
So I lost like 11 seconds there. Mid fast? Are you sure? I don't even know.
Throw this run away.
Fast slow, thank you. I thought it was. So that put me behind a little bit here.
Pretty shit.
Let's see, he'd probably do a damage boost here.
Everything else is fine.
Yeah, I think he turns around and shoots and then damage boosts off the spark. Yeah. I'm gonna forego the damage boost because I have 131 energy.
I think I've
So
heard mid-mid's faster, but
I'll only
probably
do
not
that
much
damage boost
it
if I
is.
have almost full health.
I'm not really sure about that though.
Because to get to Gravity Suit, you need to have most of your health. If you don't know already, you'll see why in a second. I probably do a faster strat in the attic here than he's doing. Yes. So if I have close to full supers, I will do this faster strat where you do the double hit right here. So I hit those last two enemies with the same super. But you have to move to the enemies do move off screen, so you have to move in a very consistent manner to get that strategy to work. You can't slow down at all. And you kind of have to, like, I think your height matters, like if you jump too high. Maybe it's just because it slows you down to jump too high, but... So, I've started doing that last farm strat before
Should be about 10 ahead.
this bowling room on a conditional basis. Sometimes I'll do the D-boost just to get through the room, but I think it loses like a second to farm
Not the worst part
4 drops there.
in a way.
Typically I want to get to where I don't get within beeping range here, because
That makes sense.
if
Yeah,
you're
it
in
makes
beeping
sense
range
on
here, you're most
really
likely
off
going to
screen
get
on that.
That's where the mentality comes in.
one less super, because after you get Spazer, you drop down and kill a
Yeah, for
Cactac,
sure.
and you're probably
you
not
could
going to
IBJ.
get a super there
You can
if
see it in
you
the demo.
are beeping here.
13, 18.
If you need power bombs right now, you really don't want to be beeping, because then the crabs coming up will give you guaranteed energy. But I don't need any power bombs. 3 is good. 3, 4, or 5 is optimal here. Any of those numbers really works great.
It's a mystery to everyone.
1, with 1, you really want to farm some power bombs here. So you'll see Behemoth farm a power bomb, or try to at least. I'm surprised he didn't kill both crabs. Usually, if I was in his shoes, I would have killed both crabs here. I would have missiled that crab with 2 missiles.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious what he does here. Does he farm the frog? Or
I'm pretty sure.
just
I would say Mark is
forego...
unintentional.
Oh, wow. I did not realize he farmed those 2 Cactacs.
Good elevator.
That's like a... That may be a 2-second loss, I think. I think each of those farms is 1 second.
Fuck.
I don't really have a
Stupid
huge
missed
problem with
that.
that. Uh-oh.
It's okay though.
I saw his video stutter. Are we still synced? It looks like we're still synced on the timers, though.
Oh, I thought I was gonna get on the top.
Yeah. 1.5 seconds. Okay. That's not too bad. I think on average the speed bug farms you have average of getting 1 per farm, so that makes sense to do those farms.
Checkmate.
It's definitely not a bad idea. Of course, you could just go for the, you know, bank on a really good speed bug farm. That would be probably optimal.
Yeah, man.
The thing about speed bugs, though, I like is that I get all my regular missiles up.
Fast.
You know, I like to be full on regular missiles, or at least have like, at the very least, 8 regular missiles coming out of speed bugs. But supers are very paramount here. Like, from after Fantoon all the way to Ridley, like all this whole section, you're really kind of eyeing your supers, because they're just huge on Ridley and the Ridley fight. Every super you have saves like 2 seconds on Ridley. So if you're like down 5 supers, it's a huge time loss. Like at this point in the overall scheme of things, 10-second losses are just huge. So I didn't see what he did. Did he just regular bomb out of there? Or did he farm a frog? Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter.
Give me some drops, yo.
Yeah, see, the timer is not very accurate anyway. Like,
Hopefully I don't need them bad either way.
it's not, you know, it's not pinpoint accuracy to look at the timer. The game, like, to be completely accurate, you have to count the frames. The timer is just sort of an estimation of that. And sometimes the timer doesn't move every frame, you know, like the timer's not really updating every frame. If you frame advance, you'll see the timer stay the same a lot for like 2 frames or so. Behemoth is ahead because of Fantoon, I think. Let's see how far he is ahead. He completely entered that room about 23. So he's about 5 seconds ahead right now. He saved 11 seconds on Fantoon. I wonder how all the other RNG fared. I know I had a very favorable Ridley, but he doesn't, like, he doesn't really need RNG as much as I do on Ridley, but Ridley really helped me pull this run back ahead. His Ridley is one of the weaker points of his run, in my opinion. Ridley and Turian were probably the 2 biggest single weak points in his run. While the weakest point in my run right now is probably Dragon and Fantoon RNG. So you will see a switch at Ridley. I can't remember if I'm ahead or not, but I will catch up at Ridley. His Ridley's not bad now. He does like ball under Ridley a couple of times, and as far as I know, the X Vector strat is still faster if it works out right, which it does for me in this run. So did a little angle shot to kill the bugs there on the first go, because if you shoot across the top of them and shoot straight down with the missile, sometimes one of the bugs will somehow live. I don't know why. It's really annoying. But if you do an angle shot from the door, like if you're up against the ceiling and do an angle shot from the door, it'll always hit all the bugs. So that's why I did that this time. So you can kind of see how far I am behind. If you look at my splits, I'm 4.5 seconds behind Behemoth right now. Roughly. And I'm pretty sure I did try to count, like, add his milliseconds into it too, so it should be pretty accurate. Trying to think what other differences we have coming up. He does do Lava Spark a little different. I'm not really a fan of the way he does Lava Spark. I never was really good at it, but he seems to be good at it, so... Like, he balls up before he takes the damage boost. I never really liked that strategy. But he has a good timing for it, so... See, the way I do it is I like to fall off as I'm charging a Shine Spark, and then if I do a spin jump into the face, then I can make it far enough left to do a Shine Spark. But if I, like, he charges his Shine Spark early and then falls off, you can't land and then jump up and deboost with a spin jump that way. You won't make it far enough left. But if you hold L, you can jump straight up and you'll make it in time to the left to be able to spark up. So, ooh, that was a low power bomb. This room's really weird. The worst room in the game here. You'll see a lot of lag here when he shoots. And my power bomb was laid higher, so you probably won't see any lag when I shoot the door here. Or it'll be a lot less. Laying the power bomb higher there, for some reason, reduces lag throughout the whole room, even after the power bomb's long gone. It really is sort of mysterious. I don't understand why that's the case, but that's how it works. Let's see what drops he gets.
Yeah, thank you, son.
Super and big energy. That's nice. I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to his drops throughout Upper North Fair. He had to have had a higher super count coming into Upper North Fair, so maybe he got a little less lucky than me on supers in Upper North Fair or the speed bugs, since we have the same super count now. Double KO. I think we both got double KO. That's nice. It's gonna be fun to watch these Ridley fights together. Well, typically in Super Metroid, you know, historically, tied world records are just considered tied world records if they're the same second value. We usually haven't. I mean, different people have different opinions about this, but we usually have, in the past, if not split hairs with frame counts and stuff. Usually, they don't last long. Usually. I can't remember of a tied world record that's lasted very long. It usually happens when there's a lot of activity in the run, which I'm the only one that's at the moment that's like Behemoth stopped. He's playing Metroid 2 right now, so all the activity is basically me for this category right this moment. But I think I'll be able to beat this pretty soon the way I'm playing. So I'm pretty sure I got 4x here, which helps a lot. See, he balls under Ridley. I don't know if I ever balled under Ridley. I want to say you probably lose like a full second, maybe a little bit more if you ball under. Okay, I am ahead at this point. Got taken for a ride a little bit. That was unfortunate. Sometimes Ridley, depending on where you kind of manipulate it a little bit, the way you like it. If you get picked up a certain way, the chances of you getting taken for a ride is less. Sometimes Ridley will hover around before it explodes, which is considerable loss. It's like a second or two, I'd say. Yeah, the Ridley fight was kind of made up for my somewhat mediocre Fantune RNG. So I still need Ridley's pattern to work out correctly for me to get 4 X factors in the beginning. If I just get 2, which can happen somewhat frequently from Ridley, it's
power bomb count sucks.
Probably loses me at least 5 seconds. I'd say 5 seconds if I just get 2 X factors. Sometimes more. It's hard to tell because Ridley's RNG after the X factors matters. Wow, look at this ink. Was synced for a second.
What?
I remember that happening.
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
chalk that up to nerves. I was a little nervous at this point. It's weird how like sometimes nerves will get in the way, and sometimes I can just play through it really. Sometimes it makes me play better, and sometimes it makes me screw up in a weird way like that. It's kind of strange. So that middle key hunter was a little bit far to the right. I didn't think I could jump over it. I tried to do a deboost off of it, but it didn't really work out. But luckily I had a good amount of energy, so I didn't have to worry too much. I could take a deboost
Wow, it's too far.
through that one, and I took a deboost earlier after the first key hunter room. God, these runs are so close.
I don't think I need any.
Which
bombs.
strat, VIP?
I really need one from Kraid though. Really need one from Kraid. Or a couple, really I need a couple from Kraid. Or I'm screwed.
Lord.
Oh, nice.
So just like supers are very important before Ridley, they're very important here. You really want 10 supers coming out of Kraid's lair, at least 8.
And before screwed.
If you don't have 8, it's really bad coming out of Kraid's lair. So if you get bad drops from both Ridley and Kraid, it's really bad here. It can ruin the run, basically. 3 Musketeers. I'll have to look at it later. I really like my 3 Musketeers strat, so I doubt I'll change it, but I'll check it out. One thing to note here is I
Can't
have 0
farm,
power bombs, which is
can't farm if I need
I remember
to.
being a problem.
I'm
So you
completely
need-
screwed if I don't get any power bombs.
Let's see.
Yeah, I can do crab
You really
bombs,
need
but it's
2 power
slow.
bombs here. You need
Yeah, I can do
one to
that.
blow up a floor on the way to Batuan, and you need 1 for an X Factor at Batuan. I think I was lucky enough to get 2 power bombs off Kraid. Yeah. So he collected the drops a little bit better than I did. He always does that little damage boost to collect all the drops. I like to just run through the drops, like sort of skipping the very first half a screen of drops. I just like running straight to the door.
Also need one from Batuan.
It's definitely quicker.
Just one.
But in this case, I was so hungry for those power bombs that I just stopped and made sure like I got all the drops, so I didn't. So I was able to complete the game, basically, you know. That's a nice deboost that he does. So 9 supers here is not too bad. Again, the super missile management here. If you've got full super missiles, you can use 6. You need to use 2 to get 2 Batuan, and you need to use 6 to 1 round Batuan. You don't have to have 6 to 1 round. You have
leeches,
to
they have a pretty
like
decent
you can do
power bomb
5
rate,
and
yeah.
3 regular missiles, but you want 6 to 1 round Batuan. Then that leaves you with 2 to get to Kraid. I mean to get to Dragon. And if you don't get any supers,
Yeah, super
so if you have
Batuan
full
too,
supers
yeah.
coming into Meridia and you don't get any supers from Batuan, you'll have 0 at Dragon, which is not a great situation, but it's workable if you have full regulars. You have to have full regulars if you have 0 at Dragon to do the fastest strat, basically. But the more supers, the better, obviously. For Turian, you need supers. As many as you can get is better. It'll speed up the Metroid rooms if you have more supers. So, like, the more the merrier, of course.
Not bad.
So it's my drop. My ammo is still like on the brink of
so much lately here.
being a catastrophe here. His is good. Oh, I forgot about that mistake.
That's close.
His is good, but not stellar, but good. Oh, his regular missiles are really low. His ammo's not that great either. So I'm going to pick up this missile here because I'm going to have 15-0 at Dragon. Did he pick up a super somewhere? So he's got 1-2. 1-2 is 700 damage and 6 regulars is 600 damage. So he's got 100 more damage worth of missiles. Both of them are, it's basically the same. We do a little different strat here. He's got this little rain dance strat he does. Wow, that looked like a low shot spark. Here's where my run goes bad a little bit. I'm trying to do what he just does right there. He does a spike suit glitch. So he's got a shine spark stored, but he can run. I can't run, so I have to you have to either bomb jump out of here or gravity jump. And if you're going to bomb jump, you need to do it immediately and not collect drops. But I wanted to collect drops because I had 0 supers. 0 supers heading out of here is kind of bad. There's a place to farm supers before Tyrion. There's some bugs you can farm, but each round of those bug farms is a second and a half. Getting the spike suit is like a 3-second loss compared to bomb jumping out with blue suit.
It's okay though. Still probably pretty good.
But missing spike suit and having to gravity jump probably is like more like a 7 or 8 second loss compared to bomb jumping out. So I would have been better served just bomb jumping out and farming the bugs before Tyrion, but
with 0 supers after Dragon,
I wanted to get spike suit. I just wasn't able to do it.
It's kind of shitty not to get the drops.
So that put me behind him for sure. I should be somewhat close to
because you have a chance
7 or 8 seconds behind him.
Here, a pretty good chance with 0 drops, with 0, you know.
These are the bugs I'm talking about right here.
Supers.
So they either drop supers or big energies. Sometimes you can get stuck. The problem is sometimes you get stuck there.
68 energy.
Sometimes I can be really stingy with dropping supers. Even though I think they have a really good rate. I can't remember if it's 40 or 60%, but they have a really good super drop rate. I want to say it's 40, but I'm not sure.
Still ahead by like 7.
Here's a mistake from me. This room, I'm not used to having ice beam here, so
What the fuck?
really sloppy.
Why does it take 2 shots after a
I don't remember the strategy to get out of there cleanly.
Need to remember the strat for this with this beam.
40%, yeah. So if they're stingy, you can get stuck there for like 5 rounds. And 5 rounds is like an extra 6 seconds. It's pretty bad. And Dragon can
Give me something.
You know, Dragon's a quick, more efficient drop, I'd say, if you can get spike suit. Because you can get a lot of energy in supers. You just get more drops, you know, in a big chunk.
Except for my time is just slow.
Behemoth is nervous. He had another pace like this. I think this was the second time he was on this kind of pace.
With elevator, but
The first one, I'm pretty sure he missed baby skip.
need a really good Tyrion.
Barely 1 extra.
So that kind of makes you nervous if you if you've already gotten here and missed baby.
G4 that are within reach.
It kind of wears on your mind, I suppose.
I blame
That
fucking
last,
box great for this one though.
Last run that went bad
got
at
some
the
better
same
super
pace.
Get a power.
At this point, for me, I didn't think
Dragon.
Yeah, I knew it was within reach to get
I'd be ahead now.
the record, but if you look at my best possible time, it says 41:32. That's with like the best I've ever done in Tyrion. But I did have one thing going for me. I didn't have to pause before the elevator because I'd already had ice beam on, so it's like 2 seconds maybe of time save. So I had that going for me because my best segments in Tyrion do not include that 2 seconds. My Tyrion split did not have ice beam equipped already. So I caught up some time there. I think he got grabbed, didn't he, in the second round? That's a nice strat from him. Keep his run speed to the super. So I'm catching up sometime already. That super there saved him some time though. You get this nice D boost if you missile them in the 4th room, but it's still a little bit slower to do this D boost. Ooh, that was bad. The good news is though I have 20 more energy than him, so it makes Mother Brain a good bit safer. Yeah, I still haven't gotten that G4 pace that he's gotten. I haven't gotten that good of a G4 pace yet. I've come very close, but I still haven't gotten that quite that good of a G4 pace. I will though. Look at the sync. Let's see. I did the optimal skip, and he did 1 jump more, I think, which saves a second and a half. It's a second and a half difference every jump you do, I believe. Oh. Missed the moonfall. We both got the good down back skip. Seems like I always miss down back skip in my good runs. Close call with the turns from me.
What a
Ooh,
chariot
that's
so
a close
far.
sync.
But it's decent.
How do you make that
How
sync
about
up
fucking
again? I
clutch?
guess his strategy in this
Some
room.
clutch shit right there. So far.
I did have to pause a little bit to clear the turrets out, but looks like his room was faster though still. Yeah, these are both 4133s. So Mother Brain 1 is actually a place you can lose and gain. Well, you can lose a considerable amount of time here if you're not careful. Just from optimal charge shot. There's so many charge shots. There's 60 here. And I found this out when I was doing low percent ice. Like, I worked on, like, Overfiend showed me a good strat, or, you know, basically demonstrated how a better way to do Mother Brain 1. A little bit, you know, doing it a little bit less safer way. It was either Overfiend or 2Cat. But I remember, like, having one run where I saved 30 seconds in Tyrion just because my Mother Brain was less safe, more optimal, you know? Which that's more shots, but still. Also, at the end of this fight, if you connect with the 60th shot, the final shot, at the end of one of her patterns, and she goes straight into her cutscene animations, it's very helpful.
Unfortunate
Because if she's
ending.
if like you shoot her the last shot, as she's like shooting a red beam or something,
Can't ask for too much better than that, though.
you probably lose a couple of
Overall.
seconds because she has to finish that whole red beam shooting animation and then, you know, do whatever until she gets into that point. So where she gets to the point where she can trigger the cutscene, you know. Oh, my cat's scratching at something for some reason.
If I would have got a luckier ending on Mother Brain, I'd be ahead. By
So
maybe
I think
a
I'm
couple
behind here,
seconds.
aren't I? Got distracted by the cat.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
Yeah, definitely behind here. So it'd be interesting. I have no idea where I gain time here. Whether it's Mother Brain 3 or the actual escape. I can't remember how his escape went. But we'll see. I missed one shot, yeah. I missed one shot and I had a little bit unfortunate ending. Like I was telling you about how
That was
the
a really
cutscene
clutch
triggers.
trigger, you know. I just got a little lucky.
I did not have
unlucky
a
on Mother
fortunate
Brain.
ending to the fight. I probably lost a second or maybe 2 there. It wasn't that terrible, but it was not optimal for sure. I didn't see what his was, but
Moonfall Shine Spark.
it's a pretty flawless Tyrion, though. Other than that,
Let's go.
are you sure he missed 2 shots? Sometimes it's hard to tell with the video recording. Ooh, yeah, he missed a couple of shots there. Oh, yeah. I think I'm gonna gain time on him here. Fuck. I missed a couple of shots myself, but his was... 2 misses, that's not good. His was definitely not as good as mine. Mother Brain 3 fight there. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to tell whether an undercharged shot is actually undercharged with the video recording. Like, I'll trust your... I didn't really see, so I can't really say myself, but I'll just throw that out there. This sync, though. I knew it was going to get close at the end. A little bit ahead again. Oh wow, the angle shot was weird. Oh, he's ahead already. Oh my god. Yeah, his strats there are faster. The way I set up the moonfall is kind of slow. But I do it so I will never miss it. Even though I have missed it. Wow. Oh my god, he gets screwed at the end here. The double hit. That was at least tied world record. At least tied world record. Pretty sure it's TWR.
I'm much more relaxed like once.
Holy shit. You like this? Can you tell a difference? Can you tell who's ahead?
I guess was that a
Well, the videos are stuttering.
Thanks, guys.
I think that's video stutter is the reason mine's ahead now.
Oh, God, man. Oh.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, thanks, y'all. Thank you all. I've never been more scared doing a run than that.
I'm fucking clutch!
I think they resynced. Yeah, they resynced.
Again, to where it was bad. Thanks so much, guys. I'm probably missing a lot of if there's some bits coming in or
Let's
something.
see.
Because I'm not actually on Twitch right now.
We'll put his audio on for the ending here. Yeah, they resynced. They're trying to resync. The VLC instances are. So you can tell who's ahead, just barely.
I mean,
About the scroll
I think,
here.
it's a small time save.
Of course,
really.
the playback's
Oh, wait.
really being stupid, but
Small Meridia time save.
that's it. I think that's accurate.
Yeah,
Like,
there was a ton of.
As far as I can tell, it's 1 frame ahead, maybe 2 frames. For what it's worth. I mean, I consider it a tied world record personally.
Super Ridley as well. That Phantom.
I was saying that before I knew which one was ahead or not.
It's one of my best. That is like tied with my best ever kill time.
I know they're quite different. Like where they lose time is different. Like a lot of the strategies are different.
Yeah, I know. It was actually easy to X pace. It was. It's just so hard though.
I'd have to say this is probably the closest
I was worried about my.
any 2 runs that were world record have been tied. Like
I did something in
I
Root.
doubt there's one that's been tied to the frame.
I fucked up Root.
I guess I don't know,
why, 'cause
but
I had a lot of supers, didn't I?
there's only like a 1 in 60 chance that it's tied to the frame.
Yeah, I'll toast it.
And there hasn't been that many tied world records. Well, I've checked. I don't have a program. I guess I could just install
what we've
Virtual
done
Dub.
over here.
I can show you
I think
like
I'll still
what I
actually
did to
do
check the frame counts.
I'll like watch it back.
Basically,
and
I'll
see
do it
if
here
I
in a
feel
second,
like I
but
can beat it.
what I did, I kind of went off the timer, so it's not that great. Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of going off the timers.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
See, his
And then I started
his timer
this, like,
starts,
stupid
or like his
backup
missile
rate.
disappears at .04, the second frame of .04 on his timer, and then
And I fell
the
off
facing
the edge.
forward is exactly at 33.39, so that's
There's always something
33.35,
perfect, though.
and mine
Just so
was
happens
like
it's
frame
already-
perfect timer start to the missile disappear and facing forward at 33.33. So these,
alright.
yeah, I don't know. I was kind of going to wait to see if somebody would verify it with an actual frame count, but
The low 40 frame.
I don't have the program installed to do it right now.
Dang. I don't know what to do.
So it'd be
I thought
interesting to see
Metroid
if somebody
2's
would do that. Here, I'll show you though. I'll just put this on for some background noise, I guess.
Yeah.
So you can watch the run.
I was hoping I was going to have...
So I'll show you though. So 0.04, that's the first frame. Second frame will disappear on the missile. 0.04. And then let's do this. And then at the ending should be 39. 33.39. Let's see. Second frame of 39. Yeah, second frame of 39.
That time lost, like...
Oops.
Do you know, I'm much more relaxed, like, once
And
Modern Warfare 2's
mine-
gone. Oh, man.
Should be frame perfect timer start
That was absolutely terrifying.
on missile disappearance.
I guess, was that a 32 or a 33? Thanks, guys.
There it is. You can see the
Man,
possible time save pops up at the same frame that the missile disappears.
I've never been more scared doing a run than that.
And then it should be 33 at face forward.
Again, touring was bad. Thanks so much, guys.
Second frame of 33.
I'm probably missing a lot of if there's some bits coming in or something.
So I'm not
I'm
sure,
not actually on
but
Twitch right now.
there it is.
That was at least tied world record.
That's how I checked it personally.